So I got to liking my fit. A rifle and some ammo, grenade launcher, 5 grenades. That's a really great support fit for busting up the HMG users. You'll be washing their whole line. But that got me wondering what my fit cost. What's the real cost of all this gear? Sniper rifles and grenade launchers expand your field of view, and they both take component parts. Now, component parts come from the way back. I went all the way back to the Viper pit to find them. Both the sniper rifle and the grenade launcher cost the same 60 refined units for 20 weapons on the component front. The component resource seems to be like 40 or 50 times more valuable than some scrap. The rifles and the SMGs, the bullets, the shotguns, like that stuff costs nothing. No time, no material at all. But oh, Foxhole is playing games with the noob tube. You want a grenade launcher? The grenades are a wash. It takes an hour to get that explosive material cooked up for your grenades, and there's no way to speed it up. And that makes the grenade launcher way more expensive than the sniper rifle at the end of everything. If what you need is a longer view on your weapon, the sniper rifle is more economical, and that's just the truth. It takes one person like 90 or 100 minutes to get my fit to the front line, and that's really expensive. Just objectively, 20 fits, 100 minutes. And 2 people only makes that a little less expensive because such a percentage of the time is waiting for those assets to cook up the explosive material. So I gotta change my mindset. So this was my first war, World Conquest number 34. I was in a previous war, but didn't really understand the scope of the game. At the beginning of 34, I found that I really liked the grenade launcher, and that's what got me going about this, about how expensive this fit is. I was really hyped when 34 started. It was the first war I saw the start of. I spawned in minute one, rushed for the abandoned ward because that's my hometown. The abandoned ward up in this piece. And we fought and battled for the abandoned ward, and we pushed out to coin, and the whole time I'm wondering why everybody isn't using this grenade launcher, right? You know? Like you do when you're a noob. And we got pushed out of the abandoned ward, and that really, that's gutting. It really hurts. You get pushed out of your hometown like that. So I went to learn about the logistics aspect of this game, headed back to the Viper pit, because they were the only place that had a vehicle factory. I I didn't understand how rare the vehicle factories and refineries were before 34 kicked off, and now that I went scrapping and learned how stuff gets made, I think I have a much better respect for the scale of the game and for the amount of work that has to be put in to accomplish some of the larger scale tasks we're talking about. I mean, I guess what I learned most of all was the strength of the scrappers in the early game. The scrappers are dictating how quickly your team advances through the tech tree, and that cannot be understated. When one team gets a high level technology available faster than the other team, the results swing battles and end wars. I don't want to underestimate and I don't want to understate anyone else's effect on these wars. That's not what I'm saying. The machinery running to keep these fights going is incredible. But you got to take your hat off to the scrappers, man. Those guys out there mining are putting in work and winning the game. I didn't know what the construction time, the manufacturing time would be for some of this stuff. So I started getting a concept for it, and luckily, you don't have to wait too long for that. It's nice. But I'm coming up on an hour into this project to see what my fit costs. And oh man, I have almost all the explosive material I need. And I got crates in the back. I got the horses in the back, cleaning up the excess. And after all this, you know, I still have to drive it. I'm gonna drive it to the abandoned ward because that's my hometown. That's how I roll. But but even after all this work, I I still have to drive it up to the front. To say nothing of like the shipments that get ambushed and ganked. You know what I mean? It's I could not have imagined how much more expensive that grenade launcher attachment was as compared to the rifle that it's attached to. And I could not have imagined how much time it takes to get the explosive material together to make the stupid frag grenade. And that must be exponentially larger when it comes to tank shells. So there's just a lot to keep in mind when it comes to Foxhole and when you're just popping off for fun. This is a war of attrition, and you got to help your logi out. You got to kill them cheap.